my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
The internet went into complete chaos after a shocking live video from Teyana Taylor's cousin, Tamika. In front of thousands of stunned viewers, Tamika came forward with a confession that no one saw coming. Her words were clear, calm, and brutally honest. She said she had been involved with Iman Shumpert, Tiana's ex-husband. At first, people thought it had to be a joke or a hack, but Tamika didn't back down. She looked straight into the camera and said, "I'm done hiding. It happened. And I'm not sorry." Within seconds, the comments were blowing up. Phones were dropping. People were screen recording the live and sending it to their friends. Because this wasn't just some tabloid gossip, this was coming from family. The story spread like wildfire. Blogs reposted the video. Twitter exploded. Fan pages picked apart every sentence, and suddenly, Tiana's name was trending all over the world. It wasn't just the fact that there was cheating involved, it was who was involved that made it worse. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a betrayal from someone who had been inside Tiana's home, her life, her circle. Everyone knows Tiana and Iman have had their ups and downs. They've gone through rough times, taken breaks, and still managed to co-parent beautifully. Some fans even believe they might get back together one day. That hope is what made this news hit so much harder. Tamika wasn't some random woman. She was family. She was in holiday photos, at birthday parties, and sitting beside Tiana at award shows. People even remembered seeing her on Tiana's Instagram in the past. So when Tamika admitted to having a relationship with Iman, the shock was unbearable for fans. They immediately went digging through old photos and videos, trying to find signs they missed. Some pointed out how Tamika seemed a little too close to Iman in group pictures. Others found clips where her eyes lingered on him during live streams. Suddenly, things that once looked harmless now felt suspicious. Tamika claimed that things between her and Iman started after he and Tiana had already split. She said they were both going through emotional pain, leaned on each other, and it turned into more. But insiders told a different story. They mentioned late-night texts, quiet phone calls, and moments that felt off long before the separation was public. One relative even said they saw Tamika and Iman leaving a hotel together during a family reunion. Soon, alleged screenshots of DMs started showing up online. Messages that seemed to be from Iman, telling Tamika she understood him better than anyone else. Messages that suggested their connection started well before the breakup. If those messages are real, it wasn't just emotional support, it was a full-blown affair. Tiana didn't respond with a long rant. She didn't post a dramatic statement or go live. Instead, she quietly deleted pictures of Tamika from her profile. Her stories went blank, just a black screen with 3 dots. It said more than words ever could. Fans immediately sensed her pain. This wasn't just sadness, it was heartbreak. From someone she once called a sister, a few days later, she showed up at a charity event wearing dark sunglasses. Witnesses said she looked tired. She smiled, but it didn't feel real. One person said she seemed like she was trying not to cry. And really, who could blame her? When a stranger hurts you, it's painful. But when the person is someone from your own bloodline, it cuts even deeper. Sources close to Tiana say she's focusing on her daughter right now, keeping her away from the noise and protecting her from the chaos. She hasn't spoken to Tamika since the confession and doesn't plan to. As for Iman, he hasn't said anything publicly, but photos surfaced of him at the airport with Tamika just days after her live video holding flowers. That picture alone had fans furious. Even Tiana's own family started turning against Tamika. One cousin called her a disgrace. Tiana's sister unfollowed both her and Iman, then tweeted, "You never bite the hand that raised you." Another relative posted a throwback picture with Tiana and wrote, "Always real, always loyal." The family was clearly divided, and the damage ran deep. Tamika didn't back down either. She went live again saying, "Love is messy. It's not perfect, but it's real." That didn't help her case. She got dragged. In the comments, people called her selfish, attention-hungry, and fake. A few defended her, saying Iman was the one who broke trust. But most stood firmly with Tiana. Even celebrities joined the conversation. One R&B singer tweeted, "Blood doesn't equal loyalty." Another posted a verse about betrayal. Hashtags like #FamilySnake and #ProtectTyana started trending. Memes flooded Twitter. One showed Tamika with a snake emoji above her head. Another had Tiana walking away from flames with the caption, "Let it burn if peace is on the other side." Then came an unexpected twist. Tiana's recent ex, Aaron Pierre, tweeted something cryptic. "Karma spins fast." No names, no explanation, but everyone knew who he meant. Some said he was gloating. Others believed he was warning her from the start. Still, the internet stayed focused on one thing: Tiana's healing. People weren't rooting for revenge. They were cheering for peace. They wanted to see her rise, rebuild, and come back stronger. And slowly, without saying a word, that's exactly what she started doing. While the internet stayed messy, Tiana chose silence, and sometimes silence is the loudest response of all. No shady posts, no confusing captions, no emotional live streams or petty likes. Just silence, the kind that says everything without saying a word. Teyana Taylor didn't respond with drama. Instead, she went back to what she does best: creating. While others were out here trying to clean up a mess, she was back in the studio, locked in for hours, pouring every ounce of hurt and truth into her music. Word quickly got around she was working non-stop, sometimes 12 hours straight. Friends said she wasn't just making songs, she was turning heartbreak into art, turning all that pain into something powerful. One of her closest people even shared a behind-the-scenes video of her in the booth. No makeup, no filters, just raw vocals and raw emotion. She sang with so much feeling that it gave people goosebumps. The caption read, "This isn't a comeback. She never left. But what's coming next? Y'all not ready." And that was it. That single moment flipped the whole story. What started as betrayal had now become something bigger, a rebirth. Tiana was reclaiming her voice, her time, and her peace. And while she was quietly rising, the others, they were sinking. Tamika and Iman tried to stay low-key, but it was too late. That ship didn't just leave the dock, it crashed and burned. The damage had already been done, and it was public. Their names were tangled in scandal, and even PR teams couldn't fix it. One major brand that had been in talks with Iman pulled out quietly. No press release, no explanation, just silence, and that kind of silence speaks volumes. Because in today's world, drama doesn't just hurt your image, it kills your business. Tiana, on the other hand, was shining brighter with each passing day. While the mess faded into the background, she was stepping forward, one powerful note at a time. As for Tamika, her name stayed on everyone's lips, but for the wrong reasons. She wasn't making headlines for talent or anything uplifting. She was famous for betrayal. Insiders said Tamika was being offered podcast deals, reality show appearances, even a possible book deal. But Tiana wasn't here for it. Through her team, she made one thing clear: no one was going to get rich off her pain. She drew the line, and that boundary, long overdue. Meanwhile, fans were still hoping, refreshing their timelines, praying that maybe this was all a misunderstanding. Maybe somehow, Tiana and Iman would talk things out and fix what was broken. But deep down, most people knew some wounds run too deep to heal. Some trust, once broken, can't be repaired. Then came the last unexpected twist. It wasn't a press conference or an exclusive interview. It happened at a birthday party, her daughter's. A day that should have been full of love and laughter. But guess who tried to show up? Iman. And he was turned away at the door. Reports say Tiana's team didn't hesitate. They made it clear this day wasn't about confusion, tension, or old wounds. It was about their daughter. And Tamika? She didn't even attempt to show. Her silence at that moment said more than any post could. The message was crystal clear: Tiana had moved on, and this wasn't just space. It was separation. Now, fans aren't just waiting for the next headline. They're waiting for her next chapter, her true glow up. Not the kind that comes from revenge, but the one born out of peace, healing, and choosing herself above everything else. Because when the noise fades, when the dust settles, one truth stays the same: Teyana Taylor deserves more. Better love, real support, genuine loyalty. And maybe this heartbreak? Maybe it was life's way of clearing out the people who were never supposed to be in her story long term. As for Tamika and Iman, they might be standing side by side now. But the question is, what did it cost them? Because sometimes when you chase something that was never yours, you lose everything you never realized you already had.